Hey everyone, it is Dani and welcome to this update video. I hope that you guys are doing really awesome this morning. And so we will be taking a look at the latest across the North Atlantic and with focus being on the Caribbean, after which we will be taking a look at the rainfall expected through today, the Saharan area, as well as what models are showing as of their latest update. And so before I go into details, please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so and tap the bell so that you never miss an important video. Alright, so as we return to this wide view of the Atlantic, here we can see that there is quite a bit of activity that is moving off Africa. There is some convective activity out there, and eventually that next tropical wave will be emerging sometime soon. Now, there is still a lot of dry conditions out there, that dry air being induced by the Saharan air layer, so that should prevent any significant development in the short term. However, things could get more conducive as we head to the late part of this week going into next week. Let's now zoom in closer to the area. Let's go to Northern South America, and for the Guianas, nothing much is happening this morning. Some passing clouds, maybe with a brief shower or so. As we take a look at Venezuela, some thunderstorms moving toward the west and the southern part of the country. Heading over into Colombia, lots more activity, especially off the northwest coast and also near Panama. And then as we look up into other spots in Central America, going up to parts of Costa Rica, Nicaragua, there's a bit of activity, nothing too crazy. But you might be wondering what is going on with the Lesser Antilles. There is some showers and thunderstorms seen streaming into the area. Now, that is as a result of a tropical wave that is nearby. So that is helping to induce all of that activity that we're seeing. ABC Islands, unfortunately, not experiencing too much. But let's move a bit more up to the north. Here we can see all this activity. Now, this is in association with a tropical wave from around St. Lucia southward, including Barbados. Likely have maybe experienced a bit of rainfall or even experiencing some overcast conditions as a result of this activity streaming in. Even for Tobago and Trinidad as well, there could be some substantial rainfall in some spots as we head to later today. Now, as we look a bit more to the west, notice that bit of circulation there. So low pressure area in the region, and that is helping to enhance some showers and thunderstorms across some spots in Haiti, going to the southern Dominican Republic, and even near Jamaica. Now, this would be much appreciated if most of the island, especially our eastern parishes that have been pretty vacant of any significant rainfall, actually experience some of this activity here. So hopefully that will be the case, and we're going to be looking at the rainfall map very shortly. As for the rest of the Lesser Antilles, going up into the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, there isn't a whole lot happening. Similar story for most of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, as well as sections of Cuba. Still some cloud cover in the vicinity of the Cayman Islands over there. And so now we're going on to the GFS map here with the rainfall expected. So as we head throughout most of today, we can see that things are more colorful over in Central America. For most areas, there could be some substantial rainfall, maybe some very heavy downpours at times, and beware of flooding should there be any significant rainfall in your area. So from Mexico, parts of Guatemala and Belize, going to El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, there could be some very substantial rainfall today. Even off the coast of Colombia, we're seeing some of those purple and burgundy shades there. Lots of rainfall expected. Things get drier as we head further east, especially into the Guianas. There could be some thunderstorms popping up due to that daytime heating, but much not expected in the area. As we look to Trinidad and Tobago, as I said earlier, there could be some substantial rainfall across some spots and some occasional showers across parts of the Lesser Antilles. But as we head further up, going to parts of the Leeward Islands, much is not expected, and there could also be some isolated showers and thunderstorms across parts of Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, going to Hispaniola, Jamaica, Cuba, and maybe even in the vicinity of the Bahamas, and especially going up to Florida. And so guys, now let's go ahead and take a look at this Saharan area map, and as we head more to the shades of reds, oranges, even that pink, there are lots of dry air, dense dry air in the area, and this has been our main inhibiting factor when it comes on to development. That's why we haven't been seeing much since dawn. However, signs are pointing towards activity as we head into the latter part of August, as we head into the end of this week and into next week as well. There's a bit of dry air across some spots in the Caribbean as well. And so how about the models? What are models expecting? So we will be looking at the ensemble members for both GFS and Euro, starting out with Euro. And here we can see lots of members out there showing a busy period here as we head into the next couple of days. By the way, this goes out to the next 10 days, so to Wednesday the 23rd of the month. And here we can see some members in the Gulf of Mexico picking up on something, nothing too strong there. Similar story for the Caribbean, but most of them expecting that we could see maybe multiple systems out there coming from the main development region. As we head to the GFS members, here we can see that they're also showing something pretty much similar, not showing as much members for the Caribbean or the Gulf, but on the latest run, it is showing something very interesting. So let's go to it. We're going to next Tuesday, the 22nd of August, and here we can see the model is expecting a tropical wave to make its way into the Caribbean and try to get itself together near Jamaica. We see that 1002 millibar low pressure area. But then as we head to Thursday of next week, here we can see a low pressure system developing just in the vicinity of, or relocating in the vicinity of the Florida Keys, and then eventually making its way over into the Gulf by Tuesday of the following week, the 29th of August, with a pressure of 929 millibars. This is the pressure of maybe a high-end Cat 4 or a Category 5 hurricane. Now, I would say to take this with a grain of salt because, for one, this is very far out into the future, and for two, accuracy tends to decrease as we head further out in time. This is not an impossible scenario. Let me get that out there. However, we have to take into consideration other environmental conditions and not just the sea surface temperatures. They are very warm, yes, record temperatures out there, but at the same time, if the wind shear kicks up, that is going to play a role and prevent significant intensification, and also if there is any dry air lingering around. So only time will tell what's going to be happening with that. And so guys, I will be keeping you posted as time goes by, and stay tuned for an evening updates later today. And also, I want to go over into the Eastern Pacific. Looking at the satellite imagery, there are three systems, one tropical storm over here, Tropical Storm Fernanda, and two more could develop through this week. So a disturbance, let's go on to this map here. Another disturbance located well off the coast of Costa Rica in the Eastern Pacific should continue to the northwest, and there's another which is much further to the west. That one could also develop into something. So Eastern Pacific, very active. Fernanda is expected to become a hurricane. Here we have the latest forecast track, so it is well to the southwest of the southern tip of the Baja California Peninsula, and is intensifying with maximum winds of around 50 miles per hour and moving to the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour. So not a threat to anyone right now, and it is not expected to become a strong hurricane either. And so guys, that is what we see happening, and I hope that you found this video to be very informative. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will respond once I get the chance, and as always, remember to be with wise.